Now on CoastTV News.
The popular music festival in Ocean City this weekend, how people are staying dry and not letting the weather rain on their parade. A Ellendale police pursuit turned crash, how police say it happened. And the race to the White House, both candidates are doing with just 38 days until the election.
And it's been a damp and muggy evening on the Delmarva Peninsula with tropical-like downpours moving through. I'm tracking more unsettled weather, though, through the weekend. I'll have my latest forecast in a few minutes.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Bad weather isn't going to stop people from having a good time in Ocean City this weekend. Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson, and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. Tonight, we begin with a huge music festival in Ocean City, and people are staying dry and ready to rock. Ocean's Calling brings lots of people to the boardwalk and has some great tunes as well. The weather watch is on this weekend, and we could see some rain throughout the festival. CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us the weather is not turning people away from all the fun.
Music, friends, and a good time. Ocean's Calling, a 3-day music festival, is expected to bring 50,000 people to Ocean City for the weekend. A lot of music groups will be on stage to rock the show, and the headliners might just be some of your favorite groups. Blink-182, The Killers, and the Dave Matthews Band will all be in attendance. While it looks like it may rain this weekend, one couple says that won't stop them from having a good time.
We're still excited. We like to say there's no bad weather, only bad clothing, right? So we're going to come, we're going to have some fun and just rock it out.
Others feel the same way and say they are just happy to be around all the music and good times.
For the weather, we do not want to get wet, but if it happens, it happens. It's worth it to be out here. We're just happy to be here for this festival at the end of the year. We love Ocean City, we love live music, and we're really happy to be here.
Jeff Stant works in Ocean City at a number of events. He has ponchos on deck for anyone who might need them and says with the way the weather is looking this weekend, business should be steady.
I think people expect rain. That's usually how it happens. Ponchos are just a bonus for us. We keep them, so it's nice to just be able to add them to our parking events that we host. Keep people dry as much as we can.
A long weekend filled with all the sounds, food, and good vibes you could want. Even a little rain, but rain never hurt anyone.
While weather might be a small concern for this weekend, people are going to have a great time anyways because it's going to go by in a blink, but it'll still be a killer weekend. In Ocean City, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
We now take a live look into Ocean City. Rain's coming down, Chris, and our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono, joins us. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, and I'll tell you what, we're seeing that heavy rain right now move through Ocean City, and in fact, the good news is I think this is going to be the heaviest rain we see all weekend long. The weekend looking drier, but not completely rain-free, but you could see those heavy bands moving through Ocean City, moving up the coast. This thunderstorm, you'll probably see some flashes of lightning out the sea, and you can see most of that rain off the coast, but generally just a few light showers elsewhere, but we did have a lot of rain move through earlier, and it's all thanks to Helene. You can see the remnants of this system spinning out here in the Midwest. That's going to get caught up in a upper level low and give us the unsettled weather here over the next few days. You could see that windswept rain in Ocean City, so the weekend won't be a complete washout. As I mentioned, more unsettled weather through next week, and yes, we have to wait till at least the middle part of next week before we see some relief from the unsettled weather and some lower humidity. We'll talk more about that and the rest of your weekend here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. And Hurricane Helene is where we turn to next. It is now a tropical storm as it continues its path north, but we are now learning at the height of her destruction, Helene claimed the lives of 28 people. Ivan Rodriguez is in Keaton Beach, Florida, where much of the town is leveled.
Erin Peeler walks along this dusty road in Keaton Beach, seemingly in bewilderment. Her home and all her neighbors' homes gone.
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 homes just gone.
Man, I just lost my house. I have nothing else to go.
Erin's husband says, like so many others, they were not expecting Helene to pack such a powerful punch.
We expect some water, but not a daggum our house just disappeared.
Across the southeast, Helene devastated entire structures, toppled trees, and crushed vehicles. A deluge so overwhelming in Tennessee on Friday, at least 54 people stranded on a hospital roof, awaiting rescue. In North Carolina, where Helene claimed at least 2 lives, the governor said Helene is, quote, one of the worst storms in modern history for parts of North Carolina.
I am worried about potential building falling and collapses and landslides and stuff like that.
The storm's damaging winds caused entire homes to float away and left millions without power. But with the deadly storm's death toll now at least 28 dead, escaping with one's life is not something to be taken for granted.
At the end of the day, I'm lucky we didn't stay. We definitely, nobody would have made it through this.
In Keaton Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
There was a dangerous accident early this morning in Ellendale, and these are the details we now know. Apparently, an SUV that was being pursued by Delaware State Police crashed into a parked truck at the 700 block of Ponder Avenue. According to the Ellendale Fire Department, this all happened around 2:48 a.m. Multiple units were called to the scene. 2 people were taken to Bay Health Sussex due to their injuries. And CoastTV reached out for more details on this accident, and we have not heard back. In Lewis, DelDOT announced there will be some lane closures at the intersection of Kings Highway at Gills Neck Road starting today. This will last through the end of October as they upgrade signals there. They also plan on upgrading the existing pedestrian crossings at both the approaches and install a signal-mounted traffic camera. It is encouraged to drive slow in work zones and expect delays during these times. Back in August, BB Healthcare opened a new location in an ongoing effort to provide follow-up care for patients being discharged from the Margaret H. Rollins Lewis campus. The office is located at 1305 Savannah Road in Lewis, and there will be a short ceremony followed by ribbon cutting for the care center September 30th at 5:30 p.m. U.S. federal prosecutors have unsealed criminal charges against 3 Iranian government-linked hackers in connection with a hacking operation aimed at Donald Trump's presidential campaign. The 3 accused of multi-year hacking effort aimed at the current and former U.S. officials and journalists, including the breach of the Trump campaign this summer. That's according to the indictment unsealed today at a U.S. district court. None of the alleged hackers have been arrested. A new study shows the presidential race is close across 3 critical states. According to the latest polling from Marist College, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are tied at 49% in North Carolina, Arizona, and Georgia. There's no clear leader either. Trump is at 50%, while Harris is at 49%. They stand at a near-dead heat. Staying in the race for the presidency, former President Trump meets with Ukrainian President Zelensky before he tours battleground states, while his opponent, Vice President Harris, makes her first trip to the U.S. southern border as a nominee. NBC's Alice Barrs shows us the latest.
Vice President Harris traveling to the border today in battleground Arizona, her first border visit in more than 3 years, aimed at blunting criticism over a key vulnerability. As polls consistently show, more Americans believe former President Trump would better secure the border. The vice president said to call for tightened security, including more Border Patrol agents and new fentanyl detection machines. That's according to a senior campaign official. She's pointing to her background prosecuting transnational organized crime, including drug and human trafficking, and going on offense, blaming former President Trump for turning Republican lawmakers against a bipartisan border bill.
He killed a bill that would have actually been a solution because he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
The former president has argued that bill wasn't tough enough and says Vice President Harris shares the blame for the record 10 million illegal border crossings throughout the Biden administration. Those numbers have sharply dropped in recent months, but it remains a top issue for voters.
And nobody who's allowed this to happen to our country is fit to be the president of the United States.
Former President Trump campaigning in Michigan today after holding what he called a great meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, despite recent tensions over what the former president would ask Ukraine to give up to end the war with Russia.
We can work out something that's good for both sides. It's time.
The candidates' plans for global and national security center stage with less than 40 days until the election. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Next week, the first vice presidential debate will be held at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, October 1st. We're just getting started here on Coast TV News at 11. Coming up, helping people that were once homeless turn their lives around. That's the goal for one local organization. Also, the future of the Murdoch Empire, how one ruling can change it all.
More clouds than sun will be the theme over the weekend in both Cambridge and Crisfield. Can't rule out a spotty shower both days. I think most of Saturday afternoon is dry. My full forecast will be back in just 60 seconds.
This economy has been hard on our wallets, but not on Angela Alsobrooks. CNN reports she dodged at least $16,000 in property taxes, illegally taking tax deductions she didn't qualify for. She even took a benefit meant for low-income seniors. But Alsobrooks wants us to pay more, including higher Social Security taxes. Angela Alsobrooks, higher taxes for you, illegal tax breaks for her. Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Join us for the Kickoff to Savings sales event going on right now at Preston Ford. Get $12,000 in savings off MSRP on select 2023 Ford F-150s. Save $9,000 off MSRP on a new 2023 Ford Bronco Badlands. These are just some of the deals. Explore a huge inventory online at PrestonFord.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot, we're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you. Preston Ford, located at the corner of Route 318 and 331. Remember, cars cost less in Preston.
Well, we are seeing some heavy rain moving through Ocean City at this hour. You can see live look here from our Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam. 73 degrees, though. Very muggy right now. And we are seeing heavy rain right now, but we will see the rain begin to subside through the overnight, but it will be quite tropical overnight. And there you see that heavy rain moving along Ocean City, pushing up through Fenwick Island, and it's going to be affecting Bethany as well as Dewey Beach here over the next half hour. Most of this is hanging off the coast, but just clipping us enough to give us some heavy rain. Just a few scattered showers back off to the west, but we are drying out. But you can see this big counterclockwise flow. This is the remnants of Helene, and this is getting kind of caught up in an upper level low that's really going to be kind of hanging out here over the next few days, and then it's going to eventually push east and give us another bout of some heavier rain next week. 76 degrees was our high today. We were right on average despite the cloud cover. Record 93 set back in 1970. Record low 35 set back in 1947. So there's that marine warning. Basically a severe thunderstorm warning over water, and it looks like that's been extended just off the coast of Delaware into South Jersey. Well, the good news is the coastal flood advisory is finally expired for Sussex County, but continues for Cambridge, Crisfield, and for those inner bay areas for some tidal flooding, and we also have a small craft advisory up through tomorrow. Temperature-wise, we're really not going to fall off much from where we're at right now. Lower 70s overnight, and yes, it is muggy. We're back into the low 70s as far as dew points are concerned, all for this air mass around Helene. Now, as I mentioned, we're dealing with the rain now, but that should subside through the overnight. We will remain cloudy and muggy and mild with temperatures in the lower 70s. So we could see a few residual showers in the morning, a lot of clouds to start, but I do think we'll see some breaks of sunshine through the afternoon, helping to get temperatures in the lower 80s. See the clouds come back, easterly wind. It's a damp Sunday with a few spotty showers, but not a complete washout. And then we'll see more cloud cover into Monday. As I mentioned, not a complete washout of a weekend. We're in the low to mid 80s on Saturday. Can't rule out a spotty shower both days. And we're in the upper 70s for your Sunday. So there's area temperatures across the peninsula. I think lower 80s here across the eastern shore. Again, a spotty shower. East wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, as I mentioned, that rain rolls back in Monday. That upper level low comes swinging through. Could see some heavier rain late Monday into Tuesday. Cold front comes through Wednesday. We see northwesterly winds, clears us out, and it's going to start feeling like fall again by the middle to the end of next week, and we'll see the return of sunshine. So there's your 5-day rainfall forecast. Again, just a few spotty showers possible over the weekend, and then we're thinking the more steadier rain comes in Monday into Tuesday time frame. Future rainfall, not a whole lot over the weekend, but then as we get into next week, we could be talking about another inch to inch and a half as that system swings through. Congratulations to our umbrella winner, Kelly Matthews of Lewis, Delaware. You're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella. So there's that unsettled weather Monday through Tuesday. We kick the humidity out and the rain finally exits, and we see sunshine and beautiful temperatures by the middle to the end of next week. Brandon.
Thank you, Chris. And if your weekend plans are looking a bit bland, don't worry. You can spice things up with some local events. Coast TV's Christina DiRobertis has you covered with this week's Cool Things to Do.
Well, there are so many cool things happening this weekend, I don't even know how you're going to choose, but let's start with my personal favorite, Dewey's Golden Jubilee. What could be better than a day at the beach? Well, how about a day at the beach with hundreds of golden retrievers? This two-day event starts Friday with a parade through Rehoboth, followed by a beach day and a bonfire in Dewey Beach on Saturday. Plus, it supports the Golden Retriever Lifetime Study. And if you want a taste of fall, you can head to the second annual Apple Cider Festival in Lewis on Saturday. That's from 10 to 3. There will be apple-flavored treats, of course, and a vendor market. It's happening at the Nassau Bridge location of the Lewis Fire Department. On Sunday, classic car lovers won't want to miss the Bob Powell Memorial Car Show from 10 to 2. The Millville Volunteer Fire Company is hosting it in Frankfort. It'll feature cool cars, antique fire engines, and police and military vehicles. Or you can join Coast TV's Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for the inaugural Walk for Prostate Cancer 5K at Cape Henlopen State Park this Sunday.
And by the way, Christina, we're going to have a great time, rain or shine. Don't worry about the rain messing up your pretty hair, because we're going to be under a canopy where the pavilion's located, and we have a free rain poncho for everybody.
Free ponchos. Okay, sounds great, Paul. All right, well, last on the list, we have the History Book Festival kicking off Friday. It goes all weekend in Lewis with 19 author presentations at 4 different venues. There will be book sales, signings, and lively discussions. For event details, tickets, and more, just head to coasttv.com and click on the Cool Things to Do tab.
Tent cities around the county have been cleared out, but some of those people managed to make their way to Springboard, Delaware in Georgetown. You may know it as the Pallet Village, and it's in this small community where new opportunities can be found, including multiple programs to get people back on their feet. Judson Malone, Executive Director of Springboard, Delaware, says they're working hard to give people real-life experiences before they leave the Pallet Village so that they're successful once they do.
We have right now some volunteers who are running the program, including the people that come in and do the therapy, but also people who just organize it and keep it moving.
To learn more about these programs, visit coasttv.com. And one commissioner is deciding the fate of Rupert Murdoch's vast media empire, including Fox News. The 93-year-old billionaire is looking to change his succession plan. As it stands now, Murdoch's 4 children and the oldest children share equal votes, but he wants to preserve it for his eldest son, Lachlan, who shares his political views, and the 3 other Murdoch children have challenged the change in a secret trial, which wrapped up Tuesday. It's week 4 of the NFL season, and we look ahead to Sunday night football. The 3-0 Buffalo Bills will take on the 1-2 Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and coverage starts right here on Coast TV at 7. 2024 holiday spending, what the crazy number that experts are predicting for this year. That's next on Coast TV News at 11.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
Your Ford dealer presents Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. The intelligently designed F-150 truck with hands-free highway driving. Want more? Visit your local Ford dealer. Now get $3,900 for 60 months plus $3,750 cash back on Ford F-150.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world prepare for glory. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra Heavy Duty Denali models. That's over $5,300 in average finance savings.
Welcome to Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
British actress Maggie Smith, a two-time Oscar winner who appeared in the Harry Potter films and the Downton Abbey series, has died at age 89. NBC's Megan Fitzgerald has more on her life and legacy.
When I call your name, you will come forth. I shall place the sorting hat on your head, and you will be sorted into your houses.
Maggie Smith, one of the world's most revered actors, a star on stage, screen, and film, and a national treasure in the United Kingdom. Smith burst onto the screen in the 1950s, winning her first Academy Award for her dramatic role in The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie in 1970.
I am a teacher. I am a teacher first, last, always.
Her comedic role as an Academy Award loser
I need another drink. The last one wore off in the lift.
won her another Oscar.
I just really can't believe it. We're ready for you now. Follow me.
Smith was arguably most known for two roles later in her career.
Mr. Weasley.
Professor Minerva McGonagall at the magical school Hogwarts in the Harry Potter movies.
That was bloody brilliant.
Oh, thank you for that assessment, Mr. Weasley.
And as the Dowager, the Countess of Grantham in Downton Abbey.
What is a weekend? At my age, one must rationalize excitement.
Cantankerous but lovable characters added to Smith's already prolific career. The Reverend Mother in the 90s box office hit Sister Act.
People wish to kill you. Anyone who's met you, I imagine.
But her depth of talent went far beyond the characters she played. Smith, mother to two sons, was gracious and humble around fame.
I led a perfectly normal life until Downton Abbey. Life was fine. Nobody knew who the hell I was.
With countless awards and recognition over more than 6 decades. But perhaps the most meaningful of all, damehood, an honor given to her by the late Queen Elizabeth. Dame Maggie Smith, remembered by legions of fans. Megan Fitzgerald, NBC News, London.
Tens of thousands of port workers from Maine to Texas are set to go on strike Tuesday. If they walk off the job, the flow of a wide variety of goods could stop at almost all the cargo ports on the East and Gulf Coast. That could possibly drive up prices again. The U.S. Maritime Association, which represents the major shipping lines, terminal operators, and port authorities, is on one side of the negotiating table. The other side is the International Longshoremen's Association, which represents 85,000 members. The start of holiday shopping season is more than 1 month away, and online spending is expected to break records. According to a new report from Adobe Analytics, shoppers are projected to spend $241 billion online this year. That's up 8% from last year, and more than half of those online sales will be on electronics, apparels, furniture, and home goods. The U.S. Supreme Court denied Robert F. Kennedy's request to appear on the New York presidential ballot. State election officials removed Kennedy's name from the ballot because he included an invalid address on his nominating petition. Kennedy argued his emergency appeal to the High Court that his supporters had, quote, constitutional right to vote for him. Regardless, if he is actively campaigning, Kennedy suspended his independent presidential campaign last month and endorsed former President Donald Trump. Chemicals linked to breast cancer. What a new study reveals. That's after the break.
Well, the good news is our Saturday is trending a bit drier. Can't rule out a spotty shower, but we will be seeing more clouds than sun throughout the afternoon. But it's going to be a pretty warm day with temperatures getting in the lower 80s and still on the muggy side. We'll have a look at the rest of your weekend and that extended forecast coming up here in just a few moments.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Get 0% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total value. That's 12% below MSRP. See your Delmarva Chevy dealers.
Foul odors, discolored water. Are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
The Camry legacy is earned through decades of continuous improvement. For timeless cars and lasting memories. Right now, buy a Camry with 3.99% APR.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
We're bringing bright hope to Delaware by creating opportunity. As Secretary of Labor, I focused on preparing the workforce of tomorrow. And in Congress, I've worked to strengthen career and technical education. Jobs that might not require a four-year college degree, but do require skills. With jobs like these. Together, we can build the workforce of today and tomorrow. I'm Lisa Blunt Rochester, and I approve this message because our opportunities should be limitless.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings. We are professional grade GMC.
A new study found chemicals linked to breast cancer are leaching into our foods. Nearly 200 chemicals connected to breast cancer are used to make packaging and plastic tableware. According to the study, 40 of the recently detected chemicals in food packaging are already classified as hazardous by regulatory agencies around the world. The findings comes as rates of early onset breast cancer in women under 50 are increasing, and experts say the trend cannot be explained by genetics alone. Staying in health news, cases of whooping cough are on the rise. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has what to know about whooping cough and how to protect yourself and loved ones.
Cases of whooping cough are surging in the U.S., 5 times higher than they were at the same point last year, according to preliminary data from the CDC.
And that's even before we really enter respiratory virus season, where I think that we're going to see even more cases as we go forward.
Dr. Donald Dumford with Cleveland Clinic says years ago, before the development of a vaccine, there were many more whooping cough cases. This year's number of cases is more in line with pre-pandemic levels. But for those most vulnerable, like young children and the elderly, that's concerning.
About a third of infants will get hospitalized, and actually about 1% of infants that develop whooping cough will actually die from the infection.
The CDC says early symptoms can mimic a common cold. 1 to 2 weeks after those start, there can be rapid, violent, and uncontrolled coughing fits that can make it hard for a person to breathe and can last up to 10 weeks.
They can kind of get blue in the face. And then there's a very sharp intake of air that kind of causes this whoop.
Dunford says the best protection against whooping cough is vaccination. It's typically given to young children, but he says it's recommended for adults who haven't received it too, along with boosters. And it's especially important for those who are pregnant.
Remember that infants very highly rely on their mothers for their immune system over those first 6 months of life.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dunford says healthy habits can also help protect people. That includes hand washing, getting good nutrition, and sleep. And if you do get sick, stay home and wear a mask to protect those around you. Coming up after the break, an event we've been talking about for weeks, making a big impact in the community.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
The bold, creamy smoothness of Hardee's new cold brew coffee with the made-from-scratch goodness of Hardee's famous breakfast. A delicious new way to power your morning. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Get 0% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total value. That's 12% below MSRP.
See your Delmarva Chevy dealers.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. For over 75 years, we've continually engineered our equipment and processes to deep clean your entire home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Hi, I'm Joel Wharton, Sussex County farmer. Don't wait until after harvest to plant your cover crops. Consider broadcasting or interseeding cover crops into your standing cash crop. Early establishment provides more growth potential and more soil armor over winter. It also saves time because after harvest, the cover crop is already growing and protecting the soil, cycling nutrients, and preventing erosion. To learn more about the benefits and ways to establish cover crops early, contact the Sussex Conservation District because every acre counts.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world prepare for glory. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra heavy-duty Denali models. That's over $5,300 in average finance savings.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $6.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
This Sunday, you can join our Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, at the Walk for Prostate Cancer 5K. The walk is at Cape Henlopen State Park, and Paul is the Grand Marshal of the event after winning his battle with prostate cancer a few years ago. You can join me and Chris, as well as many other Coast TV broadcasters and the people behind the scenes. And Chris, what's the weather looking like for the 5K on Sunday?
You know, we've been trying to fine-tune it all week, and it's going to be a bit on the damp side, maybe a stray shower, but not expecting any heavy rain with a temperature of around 76, but it will be rather damp and muggy out there on Sunday, so looking forward to that. We are dealing with some heavy rain right now, extending from Ocean City up through Fenwick Island, now making its way into Bethany Beach, and then eventually pushing up towards Rehoboth. But most of this activity is pushing to the northeast. We are seeing some drying back off to the west, so that is certainly good news. Now, we are going to be dealing with more clouds than sun throughout the weekend, so we are going to be at a medium as far as the UV index, but we are expecting another round of some heavier rain Monday through Tuesday as that upper level low comes swinging through. Your latest forecast is available at any time by calling our First Alert weather phone at 443-880-9100. And your Paul Davis 10-day shows not a complete washout of a weekend, but we will see that upper level low swing through, expecting some steadier, heavier rain potentially Monday into Tuesday. And then, Brandon, we dry things out middle to the end of next week and the return of sunshine, cooler, comfortable temperatures.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. Have a great night.